Okay, here we are, back again. Um, Not much different than before. Okay, but right now we're going to go back into. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull up. Redot. I have to upgrade to the newest one here soon. Um, LTS 26.1, which is their new naming scheme and is the first long-term support release of Redot. Which mirrors Godot 4.5.2, I guess. But the stable version's out now, and so I'll need to upgrade to that here soon. But right this second, I'm going to just continue on with this. And 5, okay, and then these are the okay, Great Princess Escape. That's the next chapter. That's chapter 8. Okay, so we got that. Now, let's go to Zanzibar's last show. Chapter. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up, see if it's in recents. Uh, this one. Okay, and then this is gonna be the new chapter 9. Pardon me. Hate sneezing. Um, Excuse me for that. Anybody that's watching or listening. Okay, so again. Okay. And part 2. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see how fast I can do this. I don't probably won't be able to get that far. I might be able to get chapter 7 done today, but see how fast we can kind of push this, right? Okay, so what I need to do is I need to copy the text because I changed the text here, and I need to copy this. Control C, and I need to put it in here. Paste. Okay. Control S. Say room data. That's good. Okay. And so now I need to break these back out into individual titles. And then we need to figure out where to put decision points. But let's just do the title thing first. And so that is, we have about 4 there. And let's go ahead and we're gonna do the manual copy thing here. So file, new tab, or yeah, new tab. Open a new tab. I mean, some more cool Redot type features. Okay. Anyways, anywho, okay. So we're going to go to rooms. We're going to go and we're going to make a copy of fifteen, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I still have 20. I guess I put 20 back in here, huh? Okay. Let's go to 7. Let's go to 9, right? Zanzibar's last show. Um, okay, we're gonna copy this. That's the other thing, is the chapter headings should be different. No, I'll leave it like this. I know I've changed some of the title ones to different than the actual chapter heading, and maybe what we'll do is we'll unify them. We'll fix that later. But right now, I need to get this done. So I need to make copies. I need to make 3 more copies. So copy, paste, paste. Where's no paste and paste. Okay. We rename this title 4. Rename this 3. And rename this 2. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do that. Thanks. Okay, so I guess I can go ahead and rename these. What's that? No, it's the redot. Redo. Media updates. Resident Video Maker Tycoon made a great video about Signal Smith, a feature that allows you to speed up or slow down sounds without changing pitch. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's actually in redot, but all right. Back to the thing. Back to the thing. You know the thing. Back to the thing. You know the thing. Boop boop ba doop boop boop. Bada bada boop. Okay. Zanzibar's last show. Actually, I might still end up changing that to something else. Where's his last show actually? Uh, he doesn't realize they know. Okay. So we're actually going to change that. Doesn't know. Uh, Easy money. The side hustle. How about Zanzibar's side hustle? Here. I know that's a modern phrasing here, but we'll call it. Actually, we'll call it the side hustle. That. Okay, we'll call. Uh, what should I call this? This is when they find out. Max finds out. And no, it's not F around and find out. Max finds out what happens. Actually, that's kind of funny. Okay, rename. Well, side hustle, that's a modern term. So, Max finds out. Zanzibar finds out. Okay. Uh, the okay, next out. Yeah, I'll let people think what they want to. Finding out doesn't necessarily mean F around and find out, or fool around and find out. Max finds out. Then T3. Or maybe I should put easy money. No, easy money is what I was gonna do. Let's call it easy money instead. Easy money. Wait a second. No. He wait. Oh yeah, right. He makes the deal with him. Okay. Max finds a clue. Max finds a clue. Max gets a clue. Max gets. Max gets a clue. Okay. Easy money. Max gets a clue. The final push. Call this the final push. The final push. And I could easily call this Zanzibar's last show, page 4. Okay, rename this. We're gonna rename this the last show. The got it. My finger slipped. The last show. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Boppity bippity boppity boo. Boopity doo. Okay. Okay. Open with the text editor. Okay, so let's just do the thing where I change the titles. 2, 3, 4. Me. Wait a second. Where? Oh, chapter 10 is called Lost and Last, but I forgot. Okay, that's all right. Um, so let's call this Easy Money. Let's call this Max Gets a Clue. Max gets a clue. We'll call this the final push. The final push. Okay. And we'll call this the last show. The last show. Okay. Title. Title. We're going to change the titles now. We're going to change this back to the last show. That, we're actually going to put this Control C down here. The last show. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and go forward. That's fine. Easy money. Easy money. Easy money. Period. Next. Max gets a clue. Max gets a clue. Okay. And the final push. A final push. And final push down here. And then the last show. Oh, no, it's in here. In fact, let's take out that. And we'll just save it. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do is we need to change the door. So this door is going to go to copy, paste, T2, P0, Max gets a clue. Control C, door 2, Max gets a clue. Control S to save. Next. The final push. Control C. Destination, the final push, Control V. Door 2. Oh. Control V, door to the final push. So, okay, and we get the last ID, copy, door to paste, and door to paste, door to the last show. And finally, this one is correct. So that's how that goes. Now, we have all the titles and everything, and I should be able to reload the project, and those new things will appear. They'll appear in 0 place. I need to figure that out. Some of the tools going to have for sure, but I might wait to do the tool until later. You know, I might wait to finish the tool until after I'm completely done with phase 1. Purpose. Okay, so let's do the finishing touches on this. We're gonna reload, save scene. It's okay. This would be 3 down here. This would be 2. This would be that one. This is called Easy Money. Copy. Go over here. We're gonna go to the door. We're going to put this Control V. It's because I decided to change that. Let's save room data. Scene, reload, save scene. Good. Everything's good. Okay. All right. And then the final thing is to essentially just to rename these. So let's go ahead and stick that out. Okay. Go ahead that. Next gets a clue. Okay. And the third one, the final push, final countdown. Okay. The proposal. I could have said the proposal. The last show. Okay. Say room data. All right. Now we're well on our way. Okay. Let's see what I can get done today. This will be kind of tricky, but I'll have to figure out how to. Okay, let's go. Whoa. One does that. 7-3, right? Oh. Back and Laps wood. Oh. I don't know why that's still there like that, but whatever. Say room. Move on. Move them out. Let's take our opportunity, the new deal. Okay. All right, so let's pull this back up. Let's see if we cannot figure out where to put any extra. Now, I already have like 10 pages of where 13 pages or something so far. That means if I want to keep it as is, I'm going to have to like diminish the pages here. So this is chapter 7. This is Zanzibar the Great. Okay. I guess I'll leave that. So this is the title here, and why did I do that that ways? That so far is 12. So I only have about 8 more pages I could actually do. But in reality, I should probably not need any more than one more decision point, 2 or 3 options. Uh, should be fine. So let's go ahead and figure out what is the best candidate out of these two for options. So Max attends one of Zanzibar shows because it's piqued his interest. In fact, I said before, I don't know if I've said it anywhere, but supposedly you're not supposed to be able to do magic without some sort of license or something. And he's amassed quite a following here, and so Max gets suspicious a little bit. Zanzibar does some more shows, and Max attends one of the shows. Carter's manages to steal from Max without his notice. Max discovers his money is gone later after he leaves the show. Max catches up to Zanzibar on another visit that then confronts him after the show, makes a deal with him. Max helps Zanzibar with larger productions in exchange for doing some extra tax collection for Max. In reality, Max decides he can use Zanzibar's audience to fill up his mind and talks to a few of his men. He tells all of his men that when Zanzibar leaves for the next village, grab the audience members for the mines. Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess this is sort of like an info drop too. There's not an actionable thing in here. Um, hmm. It's kind of weird. It used to be that how it gets from one thing to another. So maybe if I was doing this properly, I put a decision point in between the two titles there. In fact, this almost seems like that should belong in the same chapter. Huh. So if I have 4, I'd have 3, but then I'd still have to think of a thing to. Let me think. Hmm. Yeah, there's a thing that I was going to do. I was getting up to the point of where he actually tracks him down. Um, let me think for a second. Um, Actually, let me check my notes. This might be a job for my notes here. Let's pull up the notes. I can't spend forever, like, just thinking on, oh, what should I do next? It's kind of annoying. Um, it's probably the last thing I was working on here. So, okay, this is red. Let's see some here. Let's find Bar. Okay. Flat outline. Keeping promises when Max he could possibly rule his own run, maybe he can get revenge on the brother whom he had evaded. Brotherhood? I don't remember what the Brotherhood was about. Oh, that's right. So the original Zanzibar story was that the Brotherhood of Magicians. You know, it's like I don't know if it's the real thing, but the idea is that the deal that you don't expose their secrets, and that's what he was doing. In my original iteration, he'd actually show people the trick, you know, and so that made him enemy number one, and that's why he escaped. But in here, I wanted to just make him a straight up bad guy. You know, revealing magic isn't necessarily like a moral problem. Yeah, Zanzibar is working the Magic Palace in Las Vegas when he realizes the Brotherhood I call it the Brotherhood of Prestidigitation's greatest illusion. In a frenzy, they start chasing after him, and he ducks into a hotel hosting some sort of convention, right? So that's where that came from. But just go. Let's go and find the next from here. Uh, 3 card Monty. Okay, that might have been a more interesting movie. Might have been a more interesting story, but whatever's. What? What? Okay. Melvin. They called him Melvin. Runs into. Uh, and the police. Okay. No one is after him. Pull off his big final show, doesn't have the resources. Maxim makes a deal with him. Distract the audiences. Zanzibar reluctantly agrees. Max exposes Zanzibar as a fraud. Okay, so this was like later, right? So this is like the modern version of Zanzibar's story here. This could go awry at any time. Ask Max to be tax collector. He can skim money. Oh, see, Max had agreed that he could skim money off the top, but in this current iteration, he doesn't. Okay. Uh, Max has always planned to betray him. Um, okay. Let's go down. Need to clean up the chronology of the plot outline. The dragon's already enchanted by Crooktooth because it happens before we're introduced to either John or Hubert. Zanzibar is able to escape after confusion caused by Max being called away on account of the hero's storm in the castle. However, at the later date, he sees flying trains coming in that weren't scheduled. Need to rearrange the chronology. Okay, I think I already did that. Managed to escape the police. That's a few tricks. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, keep going. Uh, Nothing to see here. You can move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and going, and going. And knitting, and knitting. Oh, come on. A lot of these notes are kind of useless. Useless notes. I toyed with the idea of actually making a new kind of a note setup thing. I wouldn't like delete this file, but I'd take all the notes that I had for each of the areas, locations, or characters, and then I kind of group them so that I could easily refer to them later. Okay. Uh. Okay. Keep going. Zanzibar the Great, fraudulent magician evading Las Vegas police, can flee either a Lilliputian or and Convention Center or the Blevsky Hotel and Convention Center, both massive rivals on the strip, or duck into Gulliver's Bar and Lounge, a dinky bar between them. The hotels named after Gulliver's travels have a long-standing feud over which is bigger, sparked by a dyslexic architect misnaming the Lilliputian. Wizards from both hotels exit to a shared back alley to open a portal to Enchanted Lands. Zanzibar, thinking the magician, follows him from his chosen location, Lilliputian, Blefuscu, or Gulliver's, into the alley, entering the portal before realizing it's not a door, landing him in Enchanted Lands. He also has a crow that's been following him above, and he's going into the hotels. The crow is actually useful in Zanzibar's act by being able to steal valuables from people entranced by Zanzibar's feats of prestidigitation or magic tricks. There's also a possibility that they could have portals in both hotels, and then also the bar would still lead to the back alley where a few drunk wizards also open a portal to the same location. Zanzibar chooses a Lilliputian. He finds his way to the ballroom and notices at least 50 to 100 old men in what looks like wizard garb. As they grab cloaks off the rolling racks, he notices one left. And seeing no other wizard, grabs it and runs to the mix. Runs up to mix into the middle with the other wizards going through a portal. If Zanzibar chooses Blefuscu, uh, he's noticing a bunch of old men that look like wizards heading toward a portal to the right of the double doors of the banquet hall. As he enters the room, he notices a snack cart ducks behind it. As a security guard and a police officer start walking left or right. Uh, he starts moving the cart, and the officer is oblivious to the fact that it's moving by itself and right along with him until Zanzibar is close enough to the portal to jump through. So yeah, I had him do enter in like different methods depending on which hotel he went to. If Zanzibar chooses the bar, there's not much room. There's a bartender, a woman sitting at the bar, and what looks like another old man sitting at a small table. Zanzibar talks to him and finds out he's a wizard from Enchanted Lands. Zanzibar, thinking he's so drunk he's making stuff up, mentions he's never seen a real wizard before and is curious if this portal thing's real. When the wizard tries to reassure Zanzibar it's real, he asks him to show him, and when they leave the bar to go to the alley in the back, he takes hold of an amulet he's wearing and then mutters a few words under his breath when a portal materializes in front of them, and then both of them enter into it. So now that he's in Enchanted Lands, he starts figuring out a new con. With the help of Corvus, he secures a few coins and then runs a coin doubling scam, letting a few patrons win until they start putting in larger amounts. Where sometimes the magic doesn't work, stating it's a gamble until he has enough to expand his operations. Zanzibar's coin doubling scheme. Okay, this is when I was thinking stuff up, right? Extra stuff up here. And this is the stuff that's already been done. I guess uh, I guess maybe I shouldn't um, read all this stuff. Um, Maybe you're interested, maybe you haven't heard it, or maybe you've heard it all before, but I need to go to right to the point. Uh, yeah, well, I'll just read this anyways. The Guild of Wine Tavern, Enchanted Lands, non-magical locals drink Quicksilver Spirit, impressionable due to rare magic used by wizards only. Scene. Zanzibar, a common magician, a hyper-intelligent crow, Corvus enter the dimly lit tavern. Zanzibar performs a trick to secure 2 to 3 coppers and runs a coin doubling scan claiming normal magic, uh, letting one patron win and double coins and pocketing the rest. Choices. Perform a mind reading trick with Corvus. Act as Zanzibar blindfolds himself. Corvus selects a patron's item, copper coin ring, and signals it with coded cause. Guesses that patrons toss 2 or 3 coppers, which he uses for his coin doubling scam, paying one winner and keeping extras. Performing cups and balls with Corvus stealing. Zanzibar uses 3 mugs and a cork, drops it through the stack of mugs, while Corvus steals 2 to 3 coppers from a distracted patron. Zanzibar uses 1 coin doubling for his coin doubling sands, pays 1 winner and keeps the rest. Burly patron with Corvus lifting coins, explorer. A burly patron. Okay, so this is like what ChatGPT helped me or something. Outcome: Zanzibar messes a small stake, escalates bets, then slips out before suspicion grows, using the tavern's rowdy vibe to cover his exit. Just the thought of another food concession for Enchanted Lands, even though it is also closed, as Scarborough Fair Chicken is the only one still open. There are the table chain of pizzerias, where each table is a different shape, depending on the realm. Cerulea's where the round tables were franchised. Most of the other realms got the usual shapes: square table pizza, triangle table pizza, but Enchanted gets left with the crooked table pizza restaurant. Scarborough Fair Chicken is now going to use the slogan "We doth chicken justly" instead of righteously. Uh, Something I just thought of as well. Maybe the owner of the crooked table pizza at the Renaissance Fair, since no tourists come by, has officially closed it like all the shops and taverns and inns and the fair. However, the owner did rent out the restaurant to the Wizards Convention for a small fee to work as a staging area for their entrance to Cerulean back again. So all the wizards come through the portal, including Zanzibar, end up at the pizzeria. Zanzibar could possibly gain some information about Enchanted Lands from the wizards before they leave for their respective homes. The beverage cart in the front of the night school will have ale, mead, wine, etc., but you can get it in either a vessel with a pestle and a chalice from the palace or a flagon with the dragon. And that's because I had recently watched The Court Gesture. Hey, good evening, Rook. I had recently watched The Court Gesture starring Danny Kaye and Basil Rathbone and Angela Lansbury and Glynis Johns. And John Carradine's also in it, too. I don't know if you ever watch old shows, so I don't know if you know any of those actors or actresses. But so Danny Kaye was a comedian in the 50s. It started roughly around the 40s, but most of his movies were in the 50s. Anyways, and so the most famous incident is he has to Danny Kaye, the court jester. He's supposed to be this famous court jester Giacomo from and taking place of John Carradine. John Carradine is this actual jester, and so he has to pretend to be him. So at this one point, they said he needs to become a knight, and they kind of run through the process real quick. And at one point, he has to do a joust, and then so they decide to put some poison uh, in one of the cups, and so that's where you get that whole joust the the pellet with the poisons and the vessel with the pestle and the flagon with the dragon is the brew that is true or something like that. And they go through this rigmarole, and at one point they switch cups. And anyways, it's really funny. But I decided that I should actually do a little nod to the court jester there, and that so when you get when you the beverage from the beverage cart, you can actually ask for any one of these. Uh, John starts hearing muffled sounds in the room. He can still barely see what it is. The room looks fairly normal. There are two identical plants in the corner behind. Okay, so these are just kind of random bits. This is about the headmistress being trapped in the plant. Uh, John doesn't learn much about Princess Prep from the princesses hanging around night school, other than it was closed down fairly recently. Verdance, okay, that's fine. Quick note, it's only been almost a few hours since the princess was kidnapped. Okay, let's go down to the next. Let's find the next instance of Zanzibar's name. One thing to note, Zanzibar goes through a few villages entertaining, fleecing them, and then Max attends one. Note to self, might need to have a reason why Max is attending. Also might need to figure out logistics of various villages, possibly mapping them at some point. Okay. How does Max find Zanzibar after he realizes his money's been taken? Okay, so this is actually where I had stopped, I believe, and I come up with the stuff, and um, I don't think that I actually got to making that. I think I was just about in the process here. One method is to track down Corbus Zanzibar's partner in crime slash pet crow from the air, being that Max has his own flying train. One thing that might be kind of funny is when Max carries a portable magic mirror on his train, but in reality it requires two attendants to lug it around, so he has to bring two servants to carry it for him. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. I just thought it would be funny, I think, and I don't remember thinking about that, but yeah, the court gesture, right? Yeah, the whole thing. I just figured, you know what, I gotta have that in there. So after I watched it, I went, okay, let's write this in there. So just later on, when I'm actually adding in references and stuff, that's gonna be one of them. So, anyways, okay. So what do we got here? We have portal magic mirror. Okay. The other method of finding Zanzibar is hoofing it over to Trouserton, where his money was stolen. Okay, so yeah, the Tri Villages area. I was thinking of funny names. Trouserton, uh, makers of the best trousers in the kingdom. It was almost called Pennsylvania until I realized how much of a joke that would make them. Uh, oh no! In the story, it was almost called Pennsylvania until people realized how much of a joke that would make them. Chillington, the place where the most prominent citizens go to rest after they pass on, and Leperton, the unfortunate accident changed the original name from Leperton to Leperton, as they've been living it down ever since. They have an abundance of sheep who like to leap, and originally it was going to be called Leap Town, but to keep parity with the other Tri-Villages towns, they decided Leperton. But the scribe who filled out the charter accidentally left out the A, and now it's called Leperton, much to the chagrin of the residents, and over the years it's lost residents. Okay, so this is what I was going to put in, and I might put that in here, but I'll have to make sure I compress it, make sure I don't have too many different things to do it, you know. So yeah, he's got to track him down, and I might kind of fudge something here, and really this is one thing. This is about him being uh, getting stolen from, and then liking Zanzibar enough that he's going to use him to help it fill up his mines. Okay, and so then he makes this deal, right? But first he's got to catch up to him, and so to do that, I'm gonna put in like it's gonna be like maybe it's the three. Maybe I'll do a 3x3 deal where you have, well, I don't know if I can do that. If I'm trying to keep 20 down to 20, I don't want to do a 3x3. So what I might do is I might compress. I did a compressed 3x3, which means it's only three choices, and they all go back to the same deal, but where he travels to the different villages, and you can travel the villages in a different order. And although it doesn't really add that much to it, it gives it a sort of it gives it sort of an agency. So you get to pick, what kind of which order you go in, sort of. Pick which one you get to go to first, and then right. So yeah, these are the little backstories. Trouserton, uh, everyone wears trousers, even when the women and the girls. So the only place in Enchanted Lands where women wear pants is in Trouserton. Uh, and then Chillington was supposed to be a ghost town for real, and he was supposed to be able to interact or talk to him or whatever. And so basically, Max restricts public spellcasting because he doesn't want to be blindsided by some rogue wizard to stop his plans. And I didn't really indicate that, and I might should indicate that in one of these pages when I write it. But this way, you can register all practicing wizards and regulate it, and know all who is performing magic, even the illicit kind. So Zanzibar really doesn't know the rules, but then when he sets up his first major show, they tell him he needs a permit, and then he usually just bribes them in one way or another. Eventually, word gets Max that someone is performing performing public displays of magic, and then goes to investigate, watching one of his shows. He remarks to an assistant to take note while he goes and tries to find any information about this guy. When he's on his way back to the castle, he realizes his swim purse is gone, which makes him want to go and find him again. Let's say he stops at Chillington to sort of lay low. Maybe he doesn't tell anyone his next stop until he gets there and sets it up. No one will know what his next town is until the flyers go up advertising the next show. So maybe he finds out about Chillington while starting the tour, and then when he's done in Leperton, he decides to stop in Chillington to lay low for a little bit before going on. And in fact, Max could almost not decide to go there because he realizes Zanzibar wouldn't put on a show uh, where he couldn't steal from them, and then he'll get a clue or a hint and decide to travel there anyways. A joke from Greggy. Why did they call it the Dark Ages? Because it had so many nights. Ha ha ha. Maybe there's a character that tells all kinds of jokes like this. The Renaissance dad joke exam is one of the puzzles in the night school. The exam could be similar to insult sword fighting in the Secret of Monkey Island. This might happen before the challenge table. So some notes that I decided that was just too funny to not put in there. After freeing the headmistress of Princess Prep, she could go with John back to Scarborough for a chicken. Okay. He then travels to Fairy God College, tries to go to the door. Uh, okay, that's all right. Max still needs formula for when Zanzibar falls in the lap, so he figures that he might pull all the required amount of war with the people working from the lines. Concerning the tax collectors have it's merely busy work for Zanzibar when really Max is using. Okay. So let's go back up to. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do, right? Um, we're gonna do the investigation where it's going to be little bit of a little bit of agency kind of thing. So basically, when he decides he's gonna track him down, um, he's got the three choices of the three places to go to. Uh, so maybe the idea is, and he's going to go through all three places, including Chillington. We'll say that Zanzibar is taking a rest. Um, honestly, he could be putting the stash of loot into Chillington. So maybe I should remember that. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I should put it here, if I should put it at the end, like I've been doing everything else. But we're gonna say might decide that the money he's stealing, I should say, Zanzibar might decide to stash the money in Chillington. Since nobody goes there. And so, here, let's just save that. Just a little note to remind myself, possibly, that that's the case. Okay. Okay, so this is what we want to do. Okay. We are going to first new scam and the new deal. Okay, so this wait a second. Max catches up to Zanzibar, confronts him after the show, and makes a deal with him. Okay. Okay, what's the deal here? Oh, stop the act and move on. Then this is after he leaves the show. Okay. So it's not going to be there. It's going to be right here. This is going to be, in fact, this is going to end the thing, and it'll only be, since I have about 12 in there. 3 more is going to make it about 15. So it's going to have a total of 15 pages, which is kind of works okay. Let's think for a second. Do I want to do it 3, or do I want to do it like 1 and 2, 2 and 1? The inverted, the yin yang sort of configuration. The yin yang configuration would mean I will have 1 and then 1, 2. So if he decides, and then there's 2, and then it goes to 1. Before he catches up to him. Let me think for a second. That's 6 more, right? So if I already have 12, 6 more would make it 18. Should I worry about that? Maybe I shouldn't worry about that. Do, like I said, 3. It doesn't matter if it's 15. It's just supposed to be under 20. It doesn't have to be almost 20 or whatever. Or at least not every time, anyways. Yeah, I think I'll just do what I was was thinking about doing it originally. Audience trust him. He decides to move on. Then he does some more shows. Then he goes here. And then, let's see. We have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I guess I should add 3 more rooms, right? I'm not sure if I should do the manual thing. If I should copy this one and then, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy it. I like doing the manual thing because here, let's go back to chapter 7. Mistake or opportunity. Right there. Mistake or opportunity, the New Deal. Mistake or opportunity. Okay. Okay, so we're going to copy the New Deal. Copy. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Rename to page 1. Rename page 2. All right, the New Deal, the New Deal. And this page 3. So page 0 is the New Deal. Page 1 is the New Deal. Page 2 is the New Deal. Page 3 is the New Deal. Okay, that's good. Of Title 4, right? Okay, so let's rename. We're going to take this off. Okay. They're all going to be called the New Deal. Rename the New Deal. Okay, so okay, so let's open these up. Text editor. Okay, so they're not each going to be called the New Deal. The New Deal is the one that says where he finds let me think. Let me think for a second. Because maybe what I should do is what I said. It doesn't have to be perfect for like 4 plot points per deal. Because that okay, so 12 plus 3 would be 15. That would make it only 14 because I'm doing 1. And honestly, yeah, 14's okay, I guess. This is kind of a it's willing and dealing. There's not a lot of action going on here in the sense of like I can show the shows and stuff, but that's not what I mean. Is as far as the antagonist, as far as Max doing anything, Max's big deal is that he was stolen from. He doesn't like it. Then he goes to confront him. Then he figures he can use him. And there's not a lot of things where there'd be a choice in this and how he does stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't really want to do it. You know what I could do though? I just thought of something. I could do. Here, let's do something here. Let's forget about. Let's take these and let's delete them. Delete. Let me think about this for a second. Maybe I will do the inverted geometric deal there. It gives it more. It gives it a few more pages, obviously, but also because I'm removing a deal, it kind of gives it a little bit more to it. So it'll end up being 17 pages total, which is fine, right? So in the sense that the New Deal, the New Deal can be Title 4, but the three deals are going to be off of Title 3, right? Or the six of them will be off of Title 3. Oh, no. Wait a second. Let me think for a second. He makes the deal at the end. What am I thinking? So, yeah, so the last page, Title 4, is where he catches up to him. Title 3 is where he's looking for him. Okay. So that essentially means three of those from there, or six of them from there, depending. Then I'd have. Okay, why don't I just do the three again and do the three for there? Because now I'm not actually removing anything. All I'm doing is I'm rejiggering it to make more sense. Okay, that's a better idea here. Let's see. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Okay, mistake or opportunity. All right. Let's rename this. Rename this page 3. I'm going to rename this page 2. Rename this page 1. We're going to take the copy part out. Rename, take the copy part out. Okay, and rename the copy part out. So, okay. Let's see. I only have 15 minutes left. I don't know if I can finish this time, but let's see. Let's see. I could almost make this two deals instead of three deals where he goes clockwise or counterclockwise. That's even less. That's only 14 pages. I mean, not that it matters that much, but I could do it that ways. Maybe I should do it that ways. Clockwise, counterclockwise, or as you say in the UK, anti-clockwise. Um, yeah, two of them. Yeah, that might be all right. That might be all right. Let's do that. Let's do it. Just gonna make a decision and just do it, right? Let's delete this. Delete. But let's open these two. Open text editor, and we are going to go ahead and maybe I should use the UK version of the English here, Magic Kingdom and stuff. And who knows, maybe if I ever have voice actors in the fully animated, fully interactive version, I'll have to use people with a English accent or UK, any of the UK accents, maybe. Except for our guy from Cerulean. Well, our guy from Cerulean could have an English accent, but he doesn't because he's from the U.S., so he's not going to be have an English accent. But um, yeah. So anyways, um, okay. So I need a title for this. I need a title for the clockwise. Um, I'll just be funny and call it Tri-Cities clockwise. Um, let's do this. Tri-Cities clockwise. Okay. Try cities clockwise. I guess I'll just leave that as a straight up uh, name there. And we just take this. Oh, this is T3P1. Okay. So let's take this out. Let's go to T3P1 like that. And Control S. Okay. And that's fine. It'll go to the new deal. That's all right. And this one is P2. Try cities anti-clockwise. I wonder if anti-clockwise. I know you guys say over there in the UK say anti-clockwise instead of clockwise. But where is? Wait a second. Where is this one? Okay. Anti-clockwise a word in a direction opposite. Oh. Hmm. Completely anti-intuitive and counterthetical to what one would expect. Yeah, counterclockwise and anti-clockwise is so one of those perfect deals where the words mean the same thing. They're two different words. It's kind of like, well, aluminum and aluminium. Uh, I don't know if you classify those as you wouldn't classify those as separate words. You classify them as different spelling pronunciation, but the same word. Versus, say, a spanner and a wrench, right? A spanner and a wrench essentially do the same thing. A spanner spans or brings things together or pushes things apart, right? A wrench literally wrenches, literally, yanks something like when we're turning a nut, right? A lug nut. And so there are two separate words that actually mean the same thing, right? Mean the same tool. But aluminum and aluminium are just that. But anti-clockwise and counterclockwise are two different words that mean the same thing. And they really do mean the same thing, right? Anti-clockwise, it means against clockwise. Or I've heard anti meaning in place of, but anti-clockwise is against clockwise, right? And counterclockwise is the counter is the counter, which is the reverse direction or whatever, however you want to say it. It's the reverse direction of clockwise. So that's some interesting stuff there. Okay, so I got 10 minutes. See how fast I can do it. Tri-Cities anti-clockwise. Okay, so I'm calling it that. I'm saying anti-clockwise just because it's Magic Kingdom and Magic Kingdom and fantasy. They got us all sound English, I guess. They don't have to all sound English, but you know what I mean. Uh, I mean, I could make them all sound American if I wanted to, but that's not very. At least us Americans, it's not very fantasy-like. It's not very. It's like I don't know. It's like what I imagine to Brits or to people from the UK, um, how Americans sound. I've heard Brits say that they like the way Americans sound, right? Because it's different or whatever. It's English, but it's different. So to us, it's kind of the same thing. It's like the reason why fantasy sounds better if done with an English accent is because it's still English. It's still just foreign enough to make it sound cool. Whereas if I hear something in my own accent, and as if they're not somebody from my world in a fantasy, if they're from some other world, um, and they have an American accent, it just totally kind of ruins the fantasy aspect of it. So Anyways, I'll just be contrarian here and use anti-clockwise. Tri-Cities, clockwise. Okay, so this just represents that they're going in two different directions here. Okay. And they're both toward the New Deal. That's fine. Now, go here. We'll close this. And I know the name, so I'll be able to change the name, the file names here. So, let's go ahead and rename this to Try Cities Clockwise. And rename this Try Cities Anti-Clockwise. Okay, there we go. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Good deal, good deal. Good deal, good deal, good deal, good deal, good deal. Okay. Let's go ahead and reload. Let's reload the page. Or save scene, reload the scene. Reload save scene. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, this has got to be like this. Okay. Like that. Okay. So now we've effectively moved this to that. Okay, so let's go ahead and first we're going to modify this. Max discovers. Okay, so how do I present this choice though? Max decides to hunt down Zanzibar, but when... Okay, so... Oh, you know what? Okay. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Yeah. So, Chillington and, Trouserton, Chillington, and Leperton. Okay, Leperton. Let me get... in the village of Trouser. Corey managed to steal from Max without his notice, which he discovers later after he leaves. Okay, we'll do that. Max decides to head down Zanzibar when he gets to Trouser, then but when he gets to Trouserton, okay, he's going south. We'll say he's going south, though, I guess. When he gets to Trouserton, he's not there. The only other two cities in the Tri-City area is Leperton, and it's Leperton and Chillington. I'm still not in love with the name Chillington, though. Resterton, because you get rest. Here, let's just do that. Resterton. Hit 1 to check out Leperton first. Hit 2 to check out Westerton. Okay. Let's go ahead and save room data there, and we'll just do this like I said here. Clockwise. Actually, I almost should have put that clockwise and that anti-clockwise, just because of the way I'm looking at the around, like I'm looking at the deal. They should actually be swapped, I think. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do that. Before I do anything else, okay. Rename this as P2 and this as P1. It's just a visual thing. It's not a big deal, really. P1, P2. Okay, let's just open the text editor and let's we'll call this P1. We'll call this P2. Like that and like that. So P1 and P2. There we go. That means anti-clockwise is on the left side. It goes left. So it makes sense. It's not really a big deal, but it's just scene, reload, save scene. So reload, save scene. Okay. Okay, like that. Control S, save room data. Okay, good. And then in here, let's open this up. Leperton, Resterton. Leperton's on the left, Resterton's on the right. That's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, I guess so with the grid. Well, if I'm using that one app for the room thing, then I won't be using a grid per se exactly, which will be fine. So, because this wouldn't actually fit neatly in a grid because you'd have a grid and then you'd have the two things. They wouldn't be directly underneath it. I mean, that's kind of why I have this set up. This isn't a map, though. You know what's funny, though? No. Okay, yeah. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of a map, not. This is the layout, the game layout. So this has nothing to do with the locations of the map, except for I'm putting this on the one side and on the other just as a visual or as a thing you think of or whatever. Okay, so okay, let me do check out Leperton first. Check out Resterton. Okay, so now what was control find decided to rename Wellington to Resterton. You know, like Chesterton's a name. I don't know if there's something else with it, Esterton, with the whatever letter or letters. But I was just thinking, let's call it Resterton. You know, I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but the rest part is basically where Enchanted Landians go to die. Basically, they go and live their life out there in Resterton. They take their rest in Resterton. Okay, so let's control find. Let's find Leperton. Okay. Chillington, where the place where most prominent citizens go to rest after Leperton, and unfortunate accident changed their original name. They have an abundance of sheep who like to leap. Leaping sheep. Called Leap Town. But to keep parity with other tri-villages challenge, they decided on Leperton. Okay. So that's their whole backstory. Their whole backstory is that they have lots of sheep, which is not a thing here. It's not really a deal, but okay. So let's go ahead here and right. Let's go ahead and copy this. Copy the ID. It's gonna be the first one. Go into the door. Destination. Not the new deal. That. Okay. To us. And then copy. Over here, let's go to the door. Go ahead and hit paste. And we are going to do this. ch:2, comma, dest, colon, space, semicolon, that. OS. Save room data. Scene, reload, save scene. It just changes the colors, which is fine. I want to make sure like it kind of sets. Okay, so okay, checking out Leperton. And then he's gonna go on to the other one, and there isn't gonna be any overlap here though, the way I do this. So I'm not gonna do. I don't know. I could though. Now that we're down to 2 choices, I could actually do that, couldn't I? That's a thought. That's a thought. Nah, I don't need to do that. Um, we'll just leave it like this. Okay, so anti-clockwise. Okay, so we're gonna visit Leperton. Uh, when Max gets to Leperton, he's greeted he asks around about Zanzibar. The people tell him they think after the Tri-Cities area, he might be heading south. Okay? Heading south. I don't know if he heads south, though. He heads west. No. Maybe he heads west, and that's where the Tri-Cities are kind of... Okay, so up in the northwest, we have... This is where night school is, and Bath and Belfry Motel is actually up above night school, right? It's actually in the upper left corner, and then the Tri-Cities area is actually below the Bats and the Belfry there. People tell them they think after the... Dang, it's 3:35. Dang it. Might be heading south. Max then almost decides to skip Resterton because he couldn't possibly perform there. He then decides to check it out for completeness. So when he gets to Resterton, so when he gets to Resterton, he attempts to talk to the ghosts there. No one is able to answer him from the great beyond. So then he starts head south. Okay, so he doesn't know. Does he know? Does he find out? About this. No one's able to answer him from the great beyond. After some exploring, he finds some evidence that Zanzibar stayed at the hotel there. Max finally decides to head south. Okay, and let's just kind of copy this. Control C, that. Okay. Okay, and let's go ahead and edit this one. We're going to paste this. Control V. Okay. So when Max gets to Resterton, when Max gets to Resterton, he attempts to talk to the ghost there. No one's able to answer him from the great beyond. After some exploring, he finds some evidence that Zanzibar stayed at the hotel. When Max gets to Leperton, he asks around about Zanzibar. People tell him they think after the Tri-Cities area, he might be heading south. Max almost decides to skip Resterton because he can't. He wouldn't stop there. But decides to do it anyway. Max gets to Leperton. When Max gets to Leperton, he asks around and they tell him. Okay. So he's gonna just catch up with them on the road. So we just did this to add a little bit of extra agency, and I guess I can confidently say that this chapter is done. See. So 14. That's not very many, but that's okay because this kind of chapter isn't that big of a deal. Okay, so it looks like I got chapter 7 done. I haven't really tested it. I'll have to test it tomorrow, but come back tomorrow and we'll see about. Maybe I'll see about doing some more attempting some more mapping tomorrow. At least now that I've decided I was going to use that one tool, I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to put a few rooms and things, like what I just did here, and as I go along, I'm going to add more rooms to the map, and we'll see what we got when we're done there. Anyways, so yeah. So thanks everybody for joining me today, and maybe we'll get to chapter 9 to the rest of the week. Starting tomorrow, maybe we'll fit. Maybe what I meant to say is maybe I'll get to finish chapter 9. Okay. The reason we're skipping 8, if you don't know, is because these both 7 and 9 are part of the same story arc for Zanzibar the Great, and so I decided just to do them together as a lump, and so the next one will be chapter 8 after that. But anyways, so see you tomorrow, and let's see if we can get this thing done. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, Rick. See you tomorrow.